Hey, Uncle Inthefight here, and in today's video, we are talking about the calendar. Now, I know you don't have a lot of time, and plus this calendar is tentative anyway, so we're going to get right to the prediction, because that's actually what it is, a prediction. Based on information that we got from the US Naval Observatory, as far as the new moons. So we can see over at truthofyahweh.org, there was a new moon sighted on February the 28th. And we see that newmoonreport.org confirms a February 28th sighting. And we see, according to the Book of Enoch, that on the 30th, the moon will start to appear, marking the beginning of the month. So that would put the appearance of the new moon on March the 30th. We can go to data services at the US Naval Observatory, look at the fraction of the moon illuminated. We can get the information about the appearance of the moon. But one thing we should be careful about is up here where it says task. That's actually where it's getting the information about midnight. We don't want midnight. We want actually 1900 hours daylight saving time, which would be about 6 p.m. standard time. And we can see that on the 30th, the moon should be 4% illuminated. But just to be careful, let's look at that 29th day. For that, we'll go to the complete sun and moon data for one day. So on the 29th, what's important is to look at the set time. We see that the sun will set at 6:07. That will be 7:07 daylight saving time. But you look here at the end of civil twilight, you would have 10 minutes from 6:31 to 6:41 to see the moon on the 29th. So it's important to go out there and look on March the 29th to verify that the new moon has not appeared. But notice how they're rising together. They're rising 5:41 for the sun and 5:43 for the moon. We see that down here in the Book of Enoch. Yeah, you see where it says in the verse about 7, and when the sun rises, the moon rises with it, receiving a half portion of his light. On that night, when it commences its period, previous to the day of the month, the moon sets with the sun. So this right here is the day previous, because you have it rising and setting together. If you consider twilight, when the sky is still light, when there's still light out, you won't be able to see the moon. The sun is rising and setting together as described in Enoch for the day previous to the 30th day, previous to the 30th day. So in other words, the 30th day will start on the 29th at evening. And then at that time, the moon will start to receive a seventh portion of its light. Not 7%, but a seventh portion or seventh part. You can see on March the 29th, the observatory is saying that there is 0% illuminated. When we look at the fraction, we're kind of getting significant figures here. Or we could change this to the 30th. Now we see that the sun is still rising at 5:40, but the moon is rising almost an hour later, so they're not rising together anymore, not setting together either. The moon is almost 2 hours behind it, and then you get about 3% illuminated. That will be the beginning of the new month, the new season of spring and the new year. So with that, this is what the calendar would look like. Again, this is a tentative calendar. We can't rely on these calculations. We have to go out there and view it. But this is what the calendar would look like. Now, up first on the calendar, we want to talk about the significant dates on the calendar. But what's not included here is the first week, which is the sanctification week or the consecration week for those who will be serving up Passover. Now, that purification week is to get us prepared for Passover, which is the dress rehearsal for the marriage supper. That would be April the 12th after sunset in the year 2025. But even before that, we have some other dates in the first month. But this is a tentative calendar, so I don't want to go into too much about the specifics. But some of you guys are going to need to want to schedule your time off. So let's talk about that. Again, it's tentative, but the days you'll want to have off are going to be Mondays. Mondays will be the Sabbath day if the moon is sighted on March the 30th. So you're going to want to have pretty much every Monday off, but the most important ones will be April the 14th and about April the 21st, which will be the end of the week of Unleavened Bread. But I just wanted to share this tentative calendar with you guys. It could all change. And if it does, prayerfully, we'll let you know. So if you got anything out of this video, hit the like button. If you didn't, hit the dislike button, but leave us a comment either way. And shalom.